Eu vou sentar aqui mesmo?
Sim, por favor.
Chamar para o senhor para a oração.
Certo.
Ai, calma, tá caindo. Aí eu vou mexer na Johrei, né?
Sim, senhor.
Good morning, everyone. We will begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama for protection and the permission to participate today in the divine plan of constructing paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito, the prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Please stand.
高天原に神まります。カモの木、カモの木のみこともちて、すめみよやかむいさまぎのみこと、つくしのひむかのたち花の、おどのあはぎはらに、みそぎはらいたもときになりませる。はらいごの神たちもろもろのまがごとすみけがれを。はらいたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしよ。Amatsu kami, kunitsu kami, yao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni, ame no fujikoma no mimi kuritatete, hikoshi meseko, kashigomi mo maosu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Nagara tamachi haemase. Nagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life. In accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan, and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us, radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan.
Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei. Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to the reading from the teachings of Meishu-sama. Makoto. Words of love, spoken from the heart, even if awkward and stumbling, have the power to affect the hearts of others. The essence of living our faith can best be described in one word, Makoto, love. No other words are needed, no lesser word would suffice. What is missing in our world is Makoto, love and integrity. That is really what is lacking. The simplest way to know whether a person has or does not have Makoto is to see how much value is placed on promises and whether or not they are kept. People in general do not think it is so important to keep a mere promise, but truly it is, because the breaking of one's word means that the individual has told a lie, has committed a sort of moral crime. Of the various types of promises made, the one people tend to treat it most lightly is that of punctuality. You should show consideration for the person you have promised to meet. If such consideration does not well up from within, it is because you are lacking in Makoto, love. No matter how good you may be otherwise, the absence of this one vitally important quality spoils your whole being. Anyone who believes in God should do his or her best to keep promises and to be on time always. If you cannot do this, you fail a test of faith. Those who profess to believe in God should never forget this.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters morning service. Thank you also for your daily prayers towards world peace, the victims of wars, of natural disasters, as well as man-made disasters. This morning, I want to share with you the faith experience of Fabiana Silva from Maui, Hawaii. Fabiana was born in the state of Bahia in northeastern Brazil. She has a most amazing story that she would like to share that relates to the power of Johrei, the coming of age of her faith, and how, after 9 years of practicing Johrei, she came to truly find Meishu-sama. She received the Ohikari Sacred Focal Point in 2010 in Campinas, in the state of São Paulo, and in 2019, she moved with her daughter to Hawaii. She can say that her faith is rooted in multiple places. Although ever since she was introduced to Johrei, it has been an important part of her life, there was a specific event that she considers to be a milestone in the true realization of her faith. It was a day in November when her family was invited to a friend's child's party to be held at a local country club. The club would be operating as usual, but their friend would be hosting a Wild West-themed kids' party in its own separate area. Despite her daughter's insistence, she wasn't very inclined to attend. Coincidentally, another family event was happening on the same day. That settled the question. They would not attend the kids' party, but instead go to their family event. When they arrived, they went to the family event, yet her daughter kept insisting that at least they stopped by the club to greet their friends. As it turned out, the family event ended early, and she finally gave in to her daughter's request, and they headed to the country club to say hello. They arrived, and everything was indeed well organized. The kids were enjoying the Wild West themed party with guided horseback riding. Club members were, as usual, playing tennis or enjoying the pool. Suddenly, they heard a commotion. Some security guards started cordoning off a section, and they heard people crying and yelling. Others approached them, telling to leave. not to let the children see what was happening. Others approached Fabiana, telling them to leave. She was intrigued and asked a friend to watch her daughter for a moment while she moves toward the commotion. As she got closer, she saw police officers, lifeguards, and even her daughter's pediatrician. She was leaning over a little girl, about 2 years old, who was being held by her father, completely unconscious. She had drowned. The lifeguard and her daughter's pediatrician were trying to resuscitate the girl, but it seemed hopeless. The father was desperate, calling out her name, Amanda, the same as Fabiana's daughter, who couldn't hold back her tears. The only thing she could think to do was to give her Johrei. She raised her hand and silently prayed to God and Meishu-sama that she could somehow be invisible, so she could channel Johrei to the girl without interference or questions. They were all certain she had passed away. After raising her hand, people around Fabiana started to stare at her as if asking, "What are you doing? Who are you?" But her focus remained steadfast and she didn't flinch. All she wanted was to channel Johrei light to the girl. It was a heartbreaking scene, such a joyful day turning into a family tragedy. Suddenly, the girl moved, as if choking, and expelled out the water from her lungs. She came back, a real miracle, right before Fabiana's eyes. Countless tears of despair turned into tears of joy, although there was still a lingering worry that perhaps the little girl might experience some kind of long-term consequence. At that point, an ambulance arrived and the little girl was rushed to the hospital. Yet, everyone, lifeguards, police, security guards, allowed Fabiana to stay with her and to continue channeling God's light of Johrei until she was ready to be taken for further testing at a hospital. No one questioned Fabiana about anything. The following day, she asked at the club what they had heard about the girl, and they answered, "A miracle." It was a real miracle. She has already returned home without any major issues. It was just a horrible scare. Sometime later, Fabiana returned to the same club, which still brought back memories of that day. While there, a girl came running up and hugged Fabiana passionately, saying, "Thank you, thank you." It was actually Amanda's sister, the little girl who had drowned. Fabiana is certain that she was merely serving as an instrument of God and Meishu-sama that day. Through this experience, Meishu-sama was preparing Fabiana for a greater mission in her life that would reveal itself subsequently. This whole experience followed by about 4 months, her having visited a Johrei center in the US for the first time. While reconnecting with the Johrei community, she had stood before the altar and prayed, asking that her mission and path as an instrument in helping to create paradise and further expand the Divine Light program through her dedication in Hawaii become clear and blessed. She was eager to start her dedication, and indeed she did so. Thank you very much for joining this morning service and listening to this very powerful faith experience. I wish you all a most wonderful day.
This brings to a conclusion our morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us and we wish you a very blessed day.